On this week's show, Nico Rosberg takes Prince Albert II for a ride in a Mercedes 300 SL. We follow the draw for the Rugby Sevens Olympic qualifying rounds. And we stay with rugby for the Kids' Cup at the Stade Louis II. We'll be concentrating on sport in this week's show, starting with Nico Rosberg, who travelled back in time in a beautiful classic automobile. Just before the Monaco Grand Prix, he swapped his Formula One racing car for the legendary 1955 Mercedes 300 SL with its famous gull-wing doors. He was also lucky enough to have a very special passenger indeed, Prince Albert II. I'm a big fan of old cars, so it's really great for me to be able to drive this car. And it's also good for me to see the circuit a bit, because I haven't seen all the details yet, so I'll be able to see if there's anything new or not. Maybe the Prince will even be able to explain some details himself, maybe he knows. But with this car, I'll have to go slower. You can't go full on. It's not the ideal car for that. For me, it's a real pleasure, because even when you drive around slowly in these old cars, it's a great experience. They shared a nice drive around the world-famous circuit before heading back, not to the pit stop, but to the palace. It was certainly a special and unusual moment for Nico Rosberg, who lives in the Principality. Just before the Formula One Grand Prix, some professional drivers took part in a bicycle ride. It was a race organised by Peace and Sport in collaboration with the Sean Edwards Foundation, named after the 26-year-old British driver who died on an Australian circuit as a passenger and instructor in a Super Cup Porsche.
It's very important to be here in memory of Sean, a lover of our sport, motorsport. And a lot of people from motorsport, they use road bike for training purposes. So doing what we do most of the time with the bikes, but also in a very important cause to remember Sean.
Winner of the Paris E-Prix a few weeks ago, Luca Di Grassi was not the only driver to take part. He was joined by Alexander Wurz, Francesco Castellacci and Daniel Ricciardo, amongst others. The aim of the event was to increase awareness about driver safety on circuits and to improve their conditions. This is a long-awaited return for millions of fans. After a 92-year wait, rugby is back in the Olympics. It will be on the programme of the Rio Games in August later this year with Rugby Sevens. 11 teams have already been selected to go to Brazil, and the final place will be given to the winner of the qualifying round in Monaco on the 18th and 19th of June. The draw for the tournament took place at the Hotel Hermitage and was done by the Sovereign Prince. It was a fantastic draw with great pools as usual. A lot is expected from players nowadays, and each pool is different with their own particularities, different playing cultures, different rules depending what country you are playing in. It's different if you're Argentinian, English or in Hong Kong. There is a huge diversity in terms of the abilities of Rugby 7 players, so it will be a great show in both the men's and women's categories.
Il y a vraiment une diversité énorme dans la capacité de jouer au rugby à 7. Donc on aura de très beaux spectacles, aussi bien chez les garçons que chez les filles.
The Dublin women's qualifying draw also took place at the Hermitage Hotel, but was done by Princess Charlene. The format is the same, 4 pools, 4 teams, and the winner will also head to Rio in a little over 70 days. We're staying with rugby and the big end-of-season party of AS Monaco Rugby. This tournament concluded a very successful year. The International Monaco Rugby Kids' Cup brought together nearly 600 children at the Stade Louis II. The event's godfather was Yacouba Camara from the Stade Toulousain, who is also a player in the French international youth team. It's a great pleasure to be the godfather for the Monégasque club for this tournament. It reminds me of my childhood when we played at big tournaments like this, and it was really friendly. They ask a lot of questions like, what have you done to your knee? When will you play again? We lost today, I hope we're going to win tomorrow. Lots of little children's questions, but it's touching and it really brings back childhood memories. The tournament was a success for AS Monaco, who won the Winners' Trophy that rewards the club with the best overall results, all categories included.
Les gars,